Welcome to Nigeria Today, the podcast where we decode Africa's political heartbeat. I'm your host, Chike Okoye. Today's episode asks a bold question. As Paul Biya, so also Bola Tinubu? Paul Biya, Cameroon's long-serving president, has just clinched an 8th term at the age of 92. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is only 2 years into his first term. But already, comparisons are being drawn. Is Nigeria on a similar path? Can any party besides the APC realistically win in 2027? To unpack this, I am joined by three sharp minds. Dr. Tunde Ojo, political historian and author of The Anatomy of Power in Post-Colonial Africa. Musa Bello, governance analyst and founder of Civic Watch. And Emeka Nwusu, constitutional lawyer and democracy advocate. Tunde, let's start with you. Paul Biya's 8th term, what does that signal for African democracies? Paul Biya's longevity is no accident. It's the result of decades of institutional capture and elite co-optation. What's alarming is how familiar this is starting to feel in Nigeria. Tinubu's APC is consolidating power at a pace we haven't seen since the early PDP era. Musa, you've tracked political realignments across West Africa. What's your take?
The defections we're seeing, governors, lawmakers, even former critics joining APC, aren't just political theater. They are strategic. Tinubu understands the machinery of power. He's building a fortress, not just a party. And in a system where access to federal resources determines political survival, that's a potent weapon.
Emeka, you've written about youth movements and the 2023 elections. Is there still hope for a political upset?
There is, but it's fragile. The 2023 elections showed us that Nigerians, especially the youth, are hungry for alternatives. Peter Obi's rise was proof of that. But hope needs structure. The opposition is fragmented. Without a unified front, they'll split the vote again in 2027, and APC will cruise.
From a legal and constitutional lens, is there anything wrong with what's happening?
Legally, no. But democracy isn't just about legality. It's about legitimacy. When one party dominates not just the ballot, but the institutions, the media, and the narrative, we're no longer in a competitive democracy. We're in a managed democracy. That's the danger.
Let's talk solutions. Tunde, what will it take for a non-APC candidate to win in 2027? A coalition. A serious, disciplined coalition. PDP, LP, ADC and others must set aside egos and rally behind one candidate. That's the only way to match APC's machinery. Musa, what are the options for the electorate?
A coalition, sure, but also civic engagement. Youths must not just vote, they must organize, monitor, and protect the process. That's how you counter institutional power. They must also resist the division along ethnic and religious lines. They must realize who they are up against. It is the political elite against the masses.
Emeka, your thoughts on how to overcome these challenges?
I agree with the submissions so far. We also need a digital strategy. The opposition needs to own the narrative online and offline. APC is already investing in that space. And finally, electoral reform. INEC must be truly independent. Without that, even the best candidates can be undone.
Paul Biya's victory is not just a Cameroonian story. It's a cautionary tale for Nigeria. The consolidation of power, erosion of opposition, and normalization of indefinite rule are not inevitable, but they are possible. Tinubu's trajectory, if unchecked, could mirror Biya's, transforming Nigeria's democracy into a one-party state in all but name. As it is, the 2027 elections will test not just the strength of APC, but the resilience of Nigeria's democratic institutions and the will of its people. If history is to rhyme, it is up to Nigerians to change the tune. Thanks to my guests and to you, our listeners. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and join the conversation.